It's definitely the first time I recorded. So what deck is this?
This is Cyber Dragon.
Alright, let's hop in.
So Cyber Dragons is a bit of a setup deck. There are builds with OTKs, but I'm running a more setup-y version. 3 Cyber Dragon cores. When it's in your graveyard, you can banish it if you control no monsters to summon a Cyber Dragon from deck. And when you normal summon it, you can search your Cyber spell or trap cards. You gotta run 3, it just adds a lot of consistency to the deck. It's really important. It's also a Cyber Dragon on field and grave. 3 draws. When draw is banished, he makes 1 Cyber Dragon you control indestructible for the turn. And when he's normal summoned, you can make all of your current Cyber Dragons level 5. You can't summon anything but machines that turn, but it's usually not a big problem. He's also a Cyber Dragon on field and in grave. 3 Cyber Dragons. General staple of a Cyber Dragon deck, I assume.
Normal summon.
3 Cyber Valleys.
Attempt to attack.
My version's a bit of a more setup-y deck, and sometimes you need to stall out to get your setup cards.
Go ahead.
And being OTK'd in this deck is sometimes a problem. This helps with that. 2 Cyber Altanans. He's not quite a boss monster because he never gets super big until late game, but what he does is you banish all of your light machine types from field and grave to summon him. He gets 500 for each, and he sends, that's important for this card, all monsters on the field besides himself to the graveyard. You can also search him, so he's a searchable dark hole that can end the game really quickly. 1 Light Ray Sorcerer. He's my sort of late game plan B. The deck banishes a lot, and he can put cards back into my deck and get added effects off.
I thought that was an eye. Okay.
2 Veiler. You don't want to get some massive OTK play on turn 1 and not be able to stop it, so Veiler's pretty good. Onto the spells. I run Book and Mind Control. Mind Control has a lot of uses. The main one being I can Mind Control your monster, and I can Cyber Valley it away for 2 cards, essentially giving me pluses. 2 Pot of Dualities. You really need to get to your early game stuff to get your setup cards going. You need to get your core, your network. You just have to get through your cards. 3 Cyber Repair Plant.
Turn around, damn it.
You can only play 1 Cyber Repair Plant per turn, and only if there's a Cyber Dragon in your graveyard. What it does is, if you have 3 Cyber Dragons in grave, you can add a light monster to your deck, and then search a light monster, or you can just search the light monster.
As a result of
usually you use it to search Altanan, but it has other uses.
I just want to make sure.
1 Lance, and 3 MSTs. The MSTs serve a double purpose. When you destroy a network summons all of your banished Cyber Dragons. But you can't attack that turn, so MSTing your own network on your opponent's turn is really important. And this is Cyber Network. Probably one of the most important cards in the deck. If you control a Cyber Dragon, you can banish a Cyber Dragon from your deck. You usually use this with Dry. Now, you can do this once per turn during your turn and your opponent's turn, so it sets up real fast. Each standby phase, it gets a counter, and when it gets 3 counters, it dies. Now, when this card is destroyed, it destroys all of your back row, and you can summon as many light machines as you want from your banish zone. It allows you to OTK play, or it allows you to set up so that your opponent can't win the turn after you play it. And then we have a Warning, a Torrential, a Compulse, a pair of Mirror Forces, Bottomless, 3 Threatening Roars. The setup is real in this deck, and you need to not die to OTK before you get your setups off. And 1 DNA Surgery. I side another one, but you never want to draw more than 1. If you draw this, you can swag, apparently. If you draw this, you can change everything to machines, which hurts some decks, but it's mainly used to help you, because every time you summon a Cyber Dragon, you can send all the monsters on the field, because they're all machines, to summon Fortress. And I'll get into the extra deck. Cyber
Summon
Dragon
mutates.
Nova.
Is it good?
2 level
Oh,
5
right.
machines.
Enter battle. Attacks it up.
It's got a lot of effects.
Attack for 26.
If it's destroyed by card effect, you can summon a
You have
fusion
24 left.
card from your extra deck.
And it's your go, Bailey.
You can banish a Cyber Dragon in your hand or on your field to make it gain 2100 attack points. And you can detach to summon Cyber Dragons from your graveyard. It essentially summons the materials it's made out
all
of.
the searches.
It also allows for more plays. 1 Volcasaurus,
If it's good, then why is it getting smashed in
1
the
Gearguy
face?
X, 1 Star Liege,
That's the first piece of snack I've talked all day.
2 Pleiades. Pretty easy to make, and he's a very good card. Everyone knows the fear of Pleiades on board.
I want Gaia to come out.
1 Adrius, 1 Wind-Up Zenmayo. This can be summoned off dry, and he's very good. If your opponent wastes something on him, he's essentially done half the job anyway. And this is the DNA Surgery Master. 3 Fortress Dragons. You run 3 because you can summon him yourself for big damage. If your opponent's playing something with machines, you can also summon it. And a DNA Surgery play allows this card to essentially be Dark Hole on steroids.
Okay.
And then I run 2 Cyber End Dragons. These can be summoned off of Nova, and they're 4K piercers. You can't go wrong with a 4K piercer. Now for my side deck. D-Fissure. If your cards get banished, who cares? 2 DD Crow. General DD Crow is for anything with E-Drags, Mermails, anything that relies on the graveyard. 2 Shadow Imprisoning. You don't want to get OTK'd. One of the best OTK decks around is Inzectors and Dark Worlds. So this shuts them down and lets you set off. 1 Nobleman, Light Sorns, Gear Gaia to some extent, Gravekeepers. It's a pretty good card.
Attack with the
2 Debunk. Debunk is generally good against Mermails, but if your opponent's running a lot of hand traps, it's also pretty good.
But will activate the Super Poly.
3 Twisters. This is to kill Tinky, Royal Decree, Skill Drain. There's a lot of spell and trap cards that stay around. You can kill Necro Valley, anything. Yeah, it costs 500 life points, but a small price to pay for not losing the game. A second DNA Surgery hurts things like Bujins, Harpies, and it allows you to go for more plays if you need it. If your opponent's running a slower deck, this is actually pretty good.
TG1, EM1.
2 Banishers.
Dude,
Again,
that
you
was
don't
just-
care if
that
your
was a
shit
good
gets
match.
banished. It's usually a helper, and this stops a lot of decks. 1 Electric Virus, Mirror Match, Hyretics, anything with dragons. It's just it's just a good play. Plus, you can take their monster and sacrifice it for Cyber Dragon. It's generally good once you get it.
Alright, so that's the deck. Thank you for giving me the deck. Remember, guys, if you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up and other nice things. And subscribe for more great video content. Thanks again.